Hi there, welcome to Terraland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Gemini energy. And like usual, we're going to do two rows. The top row is going to be high vibe Gemini energy. The bottom row is going to be a more worldly, shadowy energy. Sometimes we can really be struggling within ourselves because we do have this dualistic nature within us. We have the things of the world we want, but then we have our more loving, intuitive nature. And sometimes we're battling between the two. So some people could be dealing with that. But there's also going to be other people in the world that are moving forward. High vibe Gemini energy is aligning with your more hopeful, believing, loving nature. Wanting to be in just and fair and open and authentic and loving relationships. And a more worldly, shadowy Gemini could be when we kind of get more caught up in the world and we're kind of maybe tipped out of balance in favor of the world, maybe making things of the world more important than love, status, image, money, power, influence, ego, defensiveness. Our fears, our insecurities override our more loving nature. So, anyway, if you're someone who harnesses high vibe Gemini energy, regardless of what zodiac sun sign you are, you probably want to be in relationships with other people who harness high vibe Gemini. And not everyone does. So, the truth sets us free. We can stay in denial of the truth that we're kind of in a mismatched relationship, but kind of eventually it's kind of too hard to keep staying in it. The reason for the reading is the Wheel of Fortune, which is also the reason for the reading. You know, we either think we can force the Wheel of Fortune to go in our favor, which is kind of more worldly, shadowy energy. It's kind of operating from our pride and ego that I think I can control things to go the way I want. And it's not going with the flow. High vibe energy is about going with the flow, that when we see the truth, we acknowledge the truth, because shadowy energy is about staying in denial of the truth. And that can be a difference that we could have had with some people that we were in relationship with. They might want to keep moving forward being in denial of the truth, either about some traits and characteristics about themselves, or that they need to heal or grow or mature, or just to face their fears, to step out of their comfort zone, to go to the next phase of life, to become all they can be. And some people just want to keep moving forward the way they've been doing it, and they think it's going to work out for them the way they wanted to, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's see what the message is for the high vibe row. We have the Nine of Wands, the Seven of Wands, a card not showing itself, which is the Four of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords. So we could have been trying to move forward with something, and we could have been trying to encourage other people to look at life from a higher perspective, to have some hope and faith and belief in themselves, to have some hope and faith and belief they can heal, that, and also to maybe step outside of societal norms to bring needed change to the world, which can be get out of your ego, get out of your defensiveness, get out of your more worldly focused way of viewing life. And some people are just defensive to change. I want to just keep doing things the way I've always done it. And we could have realized that if we didn't stand up for ourselves, our dream wasn't going to come into reality. That, some people could have wanted us to keep moving forward with them being defensive, operating more from their ego. And it's like, well, you want me to keep moving forward with you, but you're defensive to, you're hiding the fact that you align more with your more worldly view of life. And I'm not as motivated by the things of the world. We all put in work and effort to have stability and security and enjoy some of the finer things of life. But some people really define their whole sense of self based on how they think the rest of the world views them. And so their whole life is about what they wear and what they drive and how much money they have, and competing with everyone to try to, I don't know, look like a shining star in the world. And that's how they want to keep moving forward, because that's the most important thing to them. And it's like, how about we just live our authentic life? How about we enjoy life? How about we do the things that we enjoy? And how about we get out of our more competitive, worldly, egoic nature and we let go of that? How about high vibe Aquarius energy? How about we look at life from a higher perspective? That there's more to life than keeping up with the Joneses, and if they have more than we have, and if they seem to, whatever, who gives a damn? That's their life. How about we live our life? How about we think that there's more to life, a higher truth and justice to aspire to, than getting caught up in the rat race of thinking, that it's about competing with all these other people? How about we just live our authentic life? And some people, that's for them to give up their more worldly view of life. That would be like a whole different philosophy of life. And, we don't change our underlying philosophy of life easily. Those are things that were kind of somewhere in our life kind of got embedded within us. Somewhere along the way, we decided in this world of duality and us having our dualistic nature, and Gemini energy within all of us is a dualistic sign. Which aspect of myself am I going to align with? Do I believe if I align with my more loving, intuitive, creative, inspired nature that I can manifest my dreams into reality? Or do I give that less credit? And I think I should align with my more worldly view of life and should work more with the things of the world. Not maybe pursuing those things that I have a unique special interest in, that are a creative thing for me, are a unique talent, skill, and interest to me. What my intuition is telling me would make me happy, but no, this would make more money, or this would have more status, or this would have more image, or, And you could have realized with some people that they just have a different dream. What drives and motivates them is different than what drives and motivates you. And you both wanted to move forward differently. And so some people had to stand up for themselves. And then from the 9 down to the 7 of Wands, it's letting go of the 2 of Wands, which can be an old dream that you had. Same way if you're moving forward in a workplace, because the 4 of Pentacles it is Capricorn energy. Some of you could have dealt with a Capricorn. The 2 of Pentacles here is an Aries, but you could have dealt with people who their dream in their own Aries energy that they harness was more about the world. Capricorn energy has to do with what we feel will, what we think would be victorious in our life. And some people think what's true victory in life is to be in loving, nurturing, supportive relationships with people who are stable and grounded and loving and nurturing, and people who are stable and grounded and loving and nurturing put in work and effort to have stability and security in their life too, and to enjoy some of the finer things in life. They just don't make indulging in whatever those things are in the world the end all be all. And other people do. And it's all about looking like a shining star in the world and having people look up to you and admire you. And you just realize we've got different dreams. Because the 2 of Wands is about a dream too. So you had to let go of an old dream that you had been moving forward with. Because you found out you also harness your Capricorn energy differently. What you find victorious in life and your idea of the dream life is different than what other people could view as victorious or the dream life. And you did decide to go with the flow. Your intuition was telling you you are involved in something with a certain person, a workplace, a family dynamic, a friendship, a romantic relationship, and you were willing to cut that out of your life. And that's why the wheel of fate will go in your favor, because you're not operating out of pride and ego and being stubborn and prideful and selfish and greedy and egotistical. You're actually listening to your intuition, trying to make decisions in your life from truth and love. And that's why the wheel of fate will go in your favor. because I think we're in this world that is trying to manifest, like, for humanity to evolve over time. And if people want to keep clinging to an old way of being, that's also what the Four of Pentacles can be. And you could have dealt with some people who was like, I refuse to change. I refuse to get out of my ego, to admit that I have lessons learned, that I need to heal, that I need to grow, that I need to mature. I want to keep holding on to this way of viewing life, and I want to keep moving forward just like that. It's like, okay, you're just going to have to move forward holding on to that way of living life with someone else. Because life-giving energy is about changing and growing and learning lessons and taking the good things that we learned about what was and adding our own creativity and unique spin to it about how we think we could make it better. If nobody had done that since the beginning of time, we'd all be cave people. But all these things that human beings have thought of, that, you know what? And, started with people having to go to the bathroom outside when they were cave people. And now look, we have indoor plumbing. Somebody kept coming up with all these different ideas that's like, I think we could do something different. There's a lot of good things about the way we're doing it now, but my intuition and my creativity is telling me that I think we could do this differently. And then we'd have indoor plumbing. We'd have indoor lights. We'd have airplanes. We'd have cell phones. We could do heart transplants. And there's just some people in the world that aren't ready to move forward in life differently. Some people will never be ready to move forward in life differently. Some people refuse to listen to their intuition. High vibe energy is like shining your authentic life, being your authentic self in the world. Some people, it's all about conforming to the world. I'm not authentically myself in the world. People might judge me. Don't shine my own light and show my own unique talent, skills, and interests. What if people laughed at me or something, And they're not willing to kind of live their own authentic life. It's all about conforming to the world. And you didn't want to make your life all about that. So you stood up for yourself, as other people have, and decided, again, we can hold on to something for a long time, a job, a friendship, a relationship, because we're trying to make it work. But eventually we see the truth, because the Six of Swords moves away from the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is causing us a lot of mental conflict. And our intuition is telling us, you need to leave. You have done everything you can do to try to encourage whatever it is that you're working with to have some hope and faith and belief and love like you do, but they just don't. And it's like, I can't keep moving forward like this. And sometimes the Five of Swords can be people who want to win at all costs and they don't care who gets hurt. They're very defensive. Another card of being defensive. And they're just unwilling to open up or to look at life from any other perspective. And it's like, okay, I wish you peace. I'm moving on. So let's go look at the bottom row. We have the Ace of Cups. Let's go look at the story. And it's the reason why the reading came out. Some people could have been in a loving relationship where they could have had their dreams come into reality if they were willing to let go of some things that they love, kind of detach from some things that you love. When you're going to move forward in life differently, you have to quit moving forward in the way you were before, just like we did from age 15 to age 18 to age 21 to age 25. When we were 15, it was perfect to be a 15-year-old and act like a 15-year-old. But when we're going to move forward more like an 18 and a 21-year-old, we have to detach from some of those more 15-year-old ways of life and viewing life. And we should almost want to, because we've kind of outgrown it. We've been there. We've done that. But some people have a lot of fear of stepping outside their comfort zone, and they want to keep living life the way they've lived it, being defensive. I don't want to step outside my comfort zone. It's scary out there. I don't know what's out there. I want to keep doing life the way I've been doing it. I love the way I've been doing it. And then they maybe have people in their life that live their life that way too, that want them to keep staying in relationship with them, because sometimes when we move forward in life differently, we might not spend as much time with some of the people that we used to spend time with because we're ready to move forward in life differently, and they might not be ready to. So we wish them peace and love and joy, but I'm probably not going to be hanging out with you every weekend like I used to. Sometimes this Four of Pentacles can represent a foundation that we're holding on to. Some people are very codependent on some other people in their life, their original family, their friend group, a work group, whatever group, and that can really be the main priority in their life. But they want to be in relationships with people like they can date, because some of those people are just their friends and some of them are just their family members. But they want to look like, look at me, I've moved forward in life, look at me, I've created the dream. But they're really actually defensive of detaching from that old foundation to stand up and defend this new foundation, like people that they're going to marry and have children with, because they're still kind of maybe emotionally codependent on people that did represent a foundation in their life. But every foundation in our life has its time too. We all grew up in our families, and our families were the priority in our life. But even that Bible verse that a man will detach from his mother and father to, you know, be with his wife, and same way with women, with men, or vice versa, or whatever way, you know, every foundation serves its purpose in our life. But our friend group or our original family group isn't to be the people who are the main priority in our life if we want to bring a dream into reality that involves a love relationship with someone. The people we move forward to create a new life with, those people become the priority in our life. And some people have a problem with that. So we have the Nine of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, and the Two of Cups. And if it's not other people in their life, it's their own kind of self-interest nature. Because the queens can represent how we think and feel, and our own shadowy kind of nature can be our priority and loyalty is to protecting myself from being hurt at all costs. So I want to be in a relationship, I want to move forward with people in a relationship, but my priority is to defend. I have a distrust of being left out in the cold. So I haven't worked through that and I haven't healed from that. So I'm still operating from my ego. But I want to work together with people in like loving relationships. But I want to keep staying in denial of the truth that I'm supposed to offer love to my own defensive nature that makes me defensive and afraid of feeling left out in the cold or feeling like I'm not good enough, because the Five of Pentacles can be lack mentality. And because I haven't maybe done this work to offer love to myself, to be in high vibe Leo energy, in life-giving energy, loving and encouraging myself, offering myself all the things that I wish other people would have offered me in my life, being my own best mother, father, coach voice in my head. If they were to do that work within themselves, then they could work more cooperatively with people from a place of love, because they're kind of more connected in with their emotions and their intuition, because they're not tipped out of balance into their fear and their insecurity and their defensiveness. And there could be a part of us, and there is some people right now that are kind of staying in a mismatched situation, and it's hard because we can love people and we wish those people would love themselves and believe in themselves and start listening to their intuition than their more defensive nature. But again, we have this dualistic nature, and we can have different people in our life, and we can have people who are loving and encouraging to us, not trying to manipulate and control us. And then we can have other people in our life that want us to keep living our life that way. And sometimes the people that we have love for, they have the same dualistic nature, but they have other people in their life that want them to keep living life the way they've been living it. Reject those loving people. Reject your own loving nature. Don't love and believe in yourself. I want you to stay right here with me. I want you to keep working with me. I want your allegiance to be to me. I want you to kind of live in denial of the fact that maybe I really don't have your best interest at heart. I don't really want you to grow to become all you can be. I really don't want you to get out of your fear and insecurity or your more immature, indulgent, or lustful, greedy, prideful nature, because I'm still operating from whatever nature. And if you were to go live the life of your dreams, I'd be back here feeling defensive because you were bold and brave enough to go pursue your dreams, and I wasn't. And then it would cause me like inner conflict. And then I'd have to start to wonder if maybe I should learn to love myself and believe in myself and start listening to my intuition. And I don't want to do any of that either. So, they can have people in their life that they could have love for, but the other people are defensive to them detaching from them and listening to their intuition and aligning with their own loving nature and listening to their intuition. So then they play on their fear, their insecurity, their pride, their ego. I don't think you should trust those people. Oh, I don't know. I'd be afraid if you went to a different town and got a different job. I'd be worried if you went to that higher education to move to a different, get more education to pursue your dreams. You know, Other people who aren't planning to grow and heal and mature themselves don't want other people to heal and grow and mature themselves because they're not planning to do it. So if the other people do it, those people are kind of living their life differently than the other people in their life. And sometimes the other people in their life, shadowy energy is about trying to manipulate people. And we, I think, shouldn't be mad at the people that might be in the lives of people we would like to be in a relationship with, because nobody can really manipulate us into doing something that we kind of really don't want to do to a degree, once we're adults, probably. And if they can, it kind of shows that we lack some good boundaries within ourselves. And really, sometimes the shadowy people in other people's lives is just kind of like a personification of some shadowy energy within the person we were in a relationship with that we maybe didn't want to see the truth of. But when they keep being manipulated by other people in their life, even if it's just friends and family members, the only reason those people are kind of able to manipulate them is because there kind of is a part of them that wants to live their life that way too. And they could have some fear of being and operating together with people from a place of love where you listen to your intuition, because it's maybe not what they've normally done. And they're not ready to detach from some either their emotionally defensive nature that makes them feel safe and protected, or continuing to surround themselves with people that's kind of in their comfort zone. And we all like to stay in our comfort zone until it becomes too uncomfortable. And some people will keep aligning with their more defensive nature, worldly view of life, people in their life, until it kind of becomes too much. And it becomes, we all have to do this trade off within ourselves because we have to make decisions in life. Am I going to do this or am I going to do that? And we weigh the pros and the cons. And for some people at a point in time in their life, the pros of living their life the way they had been outweighed what they felt would be the pros of living their life a different way, because it could have required a whole different change in how they view life and their whole viewpoint of life. And if they're usually someone who doesn't like change, who likes to keep moving forward the same way they've moved forward, and they really like living their life that way, They weren't ready to give it up. And sometimes people who are manipulated by things in the world, they kind of want their cake and to eat it too. I want to align with this. And if I have people in my life and things in my life that manipulate me, I want to be in a relationship with you also. And that means you can't move forward. You have to stay right here and let whatever it is that manipulates me manipulate you. And eventually people are like, but the things that manipulate you don't manipulate me. Those are your friends and family. I really don't care, what they think. I'm willing to speak my truth and stand up for myself. And the other person's like, no, 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 you can't stand up for yourself and speak your truth because they don't like that. It's like, well, then you keep hanging out with them. As long as you're not willing to stand up for yourself and speak your truth about what your dreams are and what motivates and inspires you that might be different than what motivates and inspires them, then keep enjoying their company. But I'm leaving. And then, that's what those people did. They kept investing in repeating this old pattern of, I'm going to align with my more worldly nature, my more defensive nature, letting these people or the world at large or my ego or my fear keep manipulating me. I'm going to turn my back on love and listening to my intuition. We have that nature within us, but we can turn our back to it. And some people choose to do that. It's like, okay, well, I hope you're happy. And the whole thing is, some of you previously could have already lived your life like that. You could have indulged in things of the world thinking they were going to make you happy. You could have let people manipulate you. You could have let the world manipulate you and define your worth and value. And at some point in your life, you found it miserable. And it wounded you. And it made you wonder, why do I live my life like this? Why am I not standing up for myself? Why am I not more bold and brave and confident? Why am I not believing in myself and standing up for myself and speaking my truth? And so some of you had already learned that lesson, but the people you got in relationship with hadn't. And that can cause a lot of conflict in a relationship, but we all learn those lessons at different times. So I think, again, it's in the energy of peace and love that when we find ourselves in those mismatched situations, the high vibe people choose to invest in love. I wish you peace, but I can't keep staying here. This is not my dream. And I don't like to be manipulated by my fear and my insecurity or my pride and my ego. And I'm inspired to take action to get out of my defensive nature or my egoic nature or my more codependent nature or my more worldly nature. I want to be free to live my authentic life, feeling at peace and balance within myself and not be tipped out of balance. And you could have offered love to the people in your life to come with you, and they just weren't ready. And for some of you, you've already gotten out of these relationships and you're already moving forward in something different. Some people are just still struggling within themselves. Other people are just now telling some people, I used to defend this relationship or aligning with my more defensive nature, but I realize it keeps leaving me out in the cold. Or the people I'm in relationship with keep leaving me out in the cold. Why don't I love myself enough to leave? Why do I keep being manipulated? And part of it can be I love people, but if I love people, are they working with me in a cooperatively loving, just and fair manner? Or are they using the love I have for them to try to manipulate me? Are they doing things that are hurtful and unkind? That's not love. And when we're willing to see the truth and get out of denial, that's when we take action. But everybody, has to be at that place and listen to their own intuition about when they're ready to do that. So what's coming up for the people who harness some high vibe Gemini energy that they might not see coming in their life? Going with the flow, letting love and intuition guide them instead of fear or insecurity. Okay. The Seven of Wands, because of the Six of Pentacles. I think as you keep moving forward, standing up for what you believe in and letting truth and love guide your decisions, I think you're going to get to a place of feeling more balanced within yourself in the Six of Pentacles, because the sixes can talk about being balanced within yourself. And initially, we can be wounded, we can feel defensive, we can move away, but we keep feeling defensive. And I think eventually the defensiveness will turn more to being inspired. The more you go with the flow and keep moving forward in that way, the defensiveness transforms more into, I am more balanced within myself. I'm not in my more defensive nature. Now I am more in this inspired nature to keep moving forward and to keep believing in my dreams. And as you keep moving forward and get in this more balanced place within yourself, and you're not taking action, being tipped out of balance in fear, in insecurity, indulging poor behavior in yourself or in others, I think there's going to be other people who want to move forward with you and stand up and defend you, because they see you are someone harnessing high vibe Taurus energy, where you're really walking the talk and you're maintaining balance within yourself, where other people could have wanted you to move forward with them, but you had to be defensive to them because they kind of harnessed a more worldly Taurus energy, which could be being more stubborn or prideful or materialistic. And it's like, it's more transactional. It's like there's not equal give and take in the relationship. It's like, well, this works for both of us. It's good for both of us, for our ego and our image and our stability and our security. It's like, but is it love? Are we in this relationship because of acting with character and integrity from love? Or are we putting work and effort into it because it's good for our ego or our image? I don't want to stay in a relationship for those reasons. So when other people see that you are standing your ground, because other people don't want to get in relationships with people who they think are still emotionally attached to the past and could be manipulated by people in their past. They want to be in relationships with people who they think have let go of that old dream to be in a new relationship. And you're looking to find other people in the world who are balanced within themselves, that are inspired to be in deep, meaningful, loving relationships, not because of ego and image and status and money and materialism or whatever, And I think you're going to meet those people because that's what you're aligning and investing your time and energy into. And you're no longer investing your time, energy into people who've already shown you that isn't how they view life. So what's coming up for the people who do harness a more worldly or shadowy Gemini energy that they might not see coming up? The Six of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles. Well, some people love living more from their mind and their heart. For some people, when they did work together with people, maybe when they were young or in relationships when they were younger, it really could have caused them a lot of stress and anxiety, maybe just kind of connecting in with their emotions, because they might be someone, and Gemini is air sign energy of the mind, that they just might be people who like living more from their mind and their heart. And when they do, we all do, it makes us feel balanced within ourselves. And for some people, being in a more deep emotional relationship can really cause them a lot of stress and anxiety, because it's just not the truth of how they like to operate in life in their Taurus energy. They also might be people who like to do what they think makes more practical, logical sense, and living more from their mind and their heart. And they might like to be in relationships with people, but they could be people who are really focused more on, like, is this a good investment? Is this good for my ego and my image and my status and stuff like that? And so then they might be someone who harnesses their Scorpio energy differently. They might like more emotionally shallow, superficial relationships because to get in relationships with people who really like and motivated and inspired to be in deep, meaningful relationships, that just could cause them a lot of stress. And they'd prefer to maybe be in more emotionally shallow, superficial relationships. They were just maybe hoping they could stay emotionally shallow and superficial and you'd still be in a relationship with them. But then the loving people aren't in a relationship with someone who does deep, meaningful relationships. So they get to be in relationships with people who are loving and nurturing and open and giving, but they're really not that. And sometimes some people also, they knew that you loved them and they could have thought that if they didn't move forward with you in the way that you wanted to move forward and they kind of turned their back to you, maybe even invested in other people in their life and gave those people more priority, maybe even got in a different relationship, that it would wound you and make you really defensive and maybe stop you from kind of loving and believing in yourself and wanting to do the relationship the way you want to do it. And they could have thought that you would come back and be willing to do the relationship the way they want and just stay in denial of the truth that they kind of tried to manipulate you to get you to do what they want. You were offering love and encouragement to get them to move forward with you, and they chose to maybe be hurtful and unkind and unloving and unjust and unfair to try to get you to do what they wanted. And they thought it would work because it works with them. They never want to see the truth. Whatever and whoever manipulates them, it keeps manipulating them. And they never keep moving forward in truth and love and like standing their ground. So they could be surprised that someone who they know loved them really gave a lot of thought to what is love and what isn't loving, what is just and fair, what isn't just and fair. And those people decided to invest in love. And in their Gemini energy, they reconciled themselves with the past to kind of make peace with it and to keep moving forward and to invest in what they believe in. And some of those people are really shocked that you did that because they never thought you would do that. And other people in the world who are doing that. It's like, shoot, I've always been able to manipulate them before. Whenever I was defensive to them and I kind of ignored them and I left them out in the cold and I maybe went and flirted with other people or whatever, they always felt wounded and got in their ego and were defensive and they kept coming back and being in a relationship with me. And there comes a time where people get tired of that. I'm tired of people trying to manipulate me. People who love me shouldn't want me to feel wounded. People who love me shouldn't want me to feel defensive. People who love me shouldn't want me to be in like competitive egoic energy. Those are people who are kind of immature and play games. I don't want to be with people who are immature and play games. I want to be with people who act with character and integrity in a relationship, who do equal give and take with me because they're inspired by the love they have for me, not to use the love that I have for them to try to manipulate and control me. That's not love. Some of you could be getting into a new relationship with someone, and it is a relationship based on truth and love, and it is moving forward in a way that's worth standing up and defending. And now some of those other people are really stressed out because they no longer have you as an option, and now they're going to have to keep investing in whoever they chose to invest in instead of speaking their truth and standing up and defending you when they were in a relationship with you. It's like, well, I hope you enjoy the people you chose to align with because those are the people you have to be in a relationship with. But if they rejected loving people, the people they might have aligned themselves with could be people who also repeat this old past pattern. And it is kind of an emotionally shallow, superficial relationship. And it could cause them a lot of stress and anxiety about the fact that they did invest in repeating some poor past patterns of the past. Well, there's consequences for our actions. And now they might feel defensive because they could feel left out in the cold because the people they thought would maybe work together with them and maybe kind of indulge them in whatever way it is they like to be indulged in a relationship, those people maybe aren't sure now if they want to keep investing in them. And it's like, shit, what if this person doesn't stay in a relationship with me? What if this person doesn't move forward with me in a relationship? You know, and then they have to go find someone else to go get in a relationship and try to manipulate. So there you go, Gemini energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.